to a game called Roadwarden. Just a demo, because I'm poor, so it's probably one or two part. Might return to it later, but let's jump right into it. Everybody knows to stay away from the wilderness. Most people would never risk a lonely journey. Road wardens not only accept this struggle, they embrace it. They deliver messages, assist merchants, burn human corpses, and if possible, get rid of the beasts and highwaymen. They live on the road, die young, or retire early. It's a dangerous job, but a respectable one, and it pays well. I leave the safety of the city walls. On a side note, this is a text-based game, so I get to read a lot. Incredible. The wall is still standing. There are no wolves around, no sense of blood. Good signs. This would be the place you're looking for. You're supposed to meet with a group of soldiers, but you hear no voices, no sounds of labor. The gate is ajar, but a camp isn't safe. You may keep away the goblins and peddlers, but not beast folk or trolls. And the night is near. Your palfrey breathes heavily. Had a long day. Need to look around, cautiously. Considering the noise, you doubt anyone noticed the clatter of hooves. The short, dry grasses barely covered areas, soil of this valley. You're maybe a minute away from the edge of the sparse woods, which get denser as they climb up the hills. At best, this trail has a few more years before getting overgrown for good. Hard to believe it's only about north. I get off the horse and enter the camp briskly. Every boot's hit the ground and the pain of a long ride finally catches up with you. You stretch out, bringing your back and legs comfort. All you want now is a table. No eating without a table, or something. A decent chair, a nice mug of beer, and some warm stew. If any luck, your axe won't be needed here. I approach the gate, ready to walk in. If it's a military camp, it doesn't look the part. Plenty of wasted space, the fire pit is cold. Two people are sitting at a table, tired and disheartened. They're looking in different directions, paying no attention to one another. One of them is holding a cup. I walk towards them. It takes them a few breaths to glance in your direction. First person greets you with a wave of his hand. There are bags under his eyes. His beard is messy. Despite his simple shirt, he's wearing durable, decent boots. A mace with head covered in iron hangs at his side, but he doesn't reach at it. I take a look at the second soul. Just like you, she's wearing a gambeson. Hers is a bit loose, as if she took it from a corpse. Her head is even, as if she's protecting herself from flesh-eating bugs. Her eyes are wary, yet kind. She smiles. Considering the squad that was sent here half a year ago, these two certainly look the part. Although, there should be more of them. 8, you believe. I let them speak first. Quick water break. It's nice to see an unharmed traveler and his god-forsaken penal curse. You can read. Makes me just a tiny bit hopeful. The bearded man's voice is strong yet timid. You'll be staying the night with us, I guess. We're soldiers, he and I, adds the armored woman. Her moment... English? What? Her moment switches from half asleep to relax. I guess this is a long game, I think. Well, moving on. We'll do our best to keep the camp safe, but if you were to take the first watch, it would be a huge help. What's my accent here? Travelers ought to help each other, wouldn't you say? Do you think for a moment, to fully rest, you'd need a good sleep? Sir, leave it to me. Fantastic. See, rubs our hands together. I don't remember last time I had more than half a night of sleep. The hours before midnight should be the calmest. Just wake us up if anything happens. The man flashes you a wide smile. It's easy to wake us up. Just yell. He drinks from his mug. I asked him about our lieutenant. You wonder how to phrase your question. Whenever you meet new people, it can influence how they perceive by selecting one of attitudes. Be friendly, be playful, be distanced, be intimidating, or be vulnerable. Friendly. Oh. Let's see. Hoping to meet with your lieutenant. Could we talk for a bit? The woman lets out a loud sigh, dusts off her gambeson, and steps towards you. She pays little attention to the sword at her side. We can definitely help. We most definitely can, you and I. Though holding this rank is still somewhat new to me. Are you messenger? Did you lose your mount? She observes you with curiosity. Are you looking for help? I'm your new Roadwarden. My horse is waiting outside. Really? The soldier in the shirt leans forward. That explains how you got here in one piece all by yourself. Better not bring your beast here, adds the lieutenant. We have no hay, but I bet dreams of dropping its saddle. A long pause follows. I'm Tulia, by the way. She reaches out her hand. I shake her hand. What name do I use? I don't know. PRP it is. Her grasp is confident, the shake is slight. Just keep your horse away from the tents. She steps away. We don't need to smell its dung. There's this one issue. The soldier in the shirt also rises to his feet. We've no tent to spare. You have to use a blanket or something. No problem. I enjoy observing the stars. You walk through the gate. Your mount looks around and snorts anxiously. Not many humans could ride a horse. It's not only taller than you, but also bulky and heavy as it is strong. You can get into saddle within a single breath, but most people wouldn't know where to even begin. From every side, it's a wall of flesh. Are horses different? Horses were brought to the Dragon Woods from the conquest in the south. They can trot a long time, but won't outrun some of the local monsters. Their palfrey needs you to survive. Without it, you too would be lost. It's my only companion here. I wanted to feel at ease. Takes a few steps toward you. Where's my accent coming from? Scolding you with another snort. You scratch the bottom of its neck with strength and confidence, just the way it likes it. Humans see useful animals and even pets as monsters in disguise. Getting mostly attached to them is believed to lead humans to their doom. But you know that horses need companionship. I speak to it gently and lead it to the camp. You end up next to the fire pit. Removing the saddle makes the horse nigger. I'm not gonna say it because lisp not do good with that. I hope you can see that. With relief, you take a couple of minutes to examine its back, just in case. While the riding equipment is not that heavy for such a strong animal, with enough time it starts to chafe. He wishes it had something better to eat than this sappy grass. You should look for an inn. I need to unpack. You haven't bought that many things, and you lost one of the sacks while fleeing the crimson corpse eaters. Worst of all, you have no lip left. Maybe the soldiers could share one. It shouldn't cost more than a dragon bone. Aside from the travel set, you own a few valuable possessions, essential for your trade. So I can be a fighter, mage, or scholar. Just put my savings on a decent combat equipment, 5 gambeson, steel axe, and a crossbow. I have talismans that help me use my powers, an axe, and a worn gambeson. Fighting instruments and alchemical ingredients, and an iron axe, worn gambeson, and a healing potion. Learn more. Fighter, physical challenges, better equipment, better bonuses, and dice rolls. Vitality. Mage uses mana. It says Numa? Pneumatic, I guess. I'm just gonna call it mana. Limited pool of energy points, a few humble spells, heal faster, detect magic, find a common tongue, distract a beast, and you have to manage it. Scholar, impress locals, you have knowledge. Bad combat. Scholar it is. Will damage your armor. Cool. 2 out of 4 because it's worn, I guess. You can unpack and inspect your belongings. Your water skin isn't pierced. The spare clothes are still here. Just in case, you take a look at your wooden bowl and mug, your cape, tinderbox, bandages, food rations, knife, nothing special or too cumbersome. From time to time, your routine helps you avoid mistakes, but this doesn't make it any more exciting. I return to the soldiers. They're at the table again, observing their beast and chatting them between themselves. Your stomach growls at the sight of them eating out of wooden bowls. One more bowl was put at a previously unused end of the table. You can sit down on a tree log. I join them and take a look at the meal. It's cold, the meal eaten in times of hardship. This specific bowl is filled with water, hog millet, some strange-looking cereals, and blueberries. Welcoming you with a meal, even a humble one, is beyond their duty. Soldiers live with and for their companions, constantly on the move, from one part of the realm to the other, to another, making sacrifices to protect their group as they face dozens of hideous creatures. Well, nursemen. 2 out of 4. Their lives are filled with discipline, hardship, and camaraderie. Roadwardens, on the other hand, learn how to work for themselves. They seldom engage in open combat, patrolling the same road for years. They help the settlements stay in touch, but also maintain commerce, settle down, forge friendships. When there are no laws to follow, they use their own judgment. Different responsibilities, different lifestyles. I eat quickly, not focusing on the taste, and speak with Tulia. I don't know. She's focused and chooses her words carefully. She looks away only when she gathers her thoughts. I'm afraid I can tell you less than I would like to, and less than I should. She nods towards the other soldier. As you can see, there's not a lot of us left. At the beginning of the summer, there were 8 of us, including our previous lieutenant. 5 are dead, one has run away in tears. We're also strangers in this land, asked your companion. Any piece of information may help me do my job. The man leans forward, his legs shake nervously. He sounds like a kid asking a bard to sing one more story, tell a joke, or do a magic trick, whatever it takes to escape from boredom. His untrimmed beard hides a much younger face than you originally thought. What did the officials tell you? I expect not that much. No soul governs these lands. I share what I consider to be relevant. You tell the soldiers how little guidance you've received, Since this area is too far from Hoveland to keep it under control, well, like, oopsie. You were warned it's untamed and unknown. Who knows how many villages, bandits, or monsters may be found in these unmapped hills and forests. From time to time, new people come here to look for boundless opportunities. Most of them never return. Do they turn into walking corpses, or find what they're looking for? No soul could tell me, so I was looking for your guidance. The lieutenant drinks from her cup and crosses her legs. Ankle on me. Seeing her chair makes you doubt she'll ever find a comfortable position. Where should we start? Julia, how did you become a lieutenant? It's not much of a story, honestly. She looks at her hand, which is currently rolling a mug over the table. In the city, there's a strict order of, what should I call it? She exchanges looks with her companion, but he can't help her. Well, leadership success, I guess. Hoveland Chief selects commanders, those select lieutenants, and those put their soldiers in order of priority. If a lieutenant dies, they get replaced by the next soldier in line. So, you were his successor? Not exactly. When he fought the bandits, our lieutenant was hit by a slingshot. His boyfriend jumped to help him, but failed to protect either of them from a spell. It was like a ball of ice that hung above them and exploded, piercing their heads, completely avoiding their shield. Really unpleasant. She pauses. And you were the third one in line? Is that right? Basically, yeah. She says without enthusiasm. I didn't plan to become a leader, though. I'll get demoted once we return to the city. I prefer to follow anyways. What should I know about the peninsula? I'll tell you what I know, and you'll be the judge, says the lieutenant. How long did it take you to get here from the city? On a decent health, I guess it'd be 3-4 days. When you confirm, she continues. From here, you can reach the coast in about a day, as long as you don't make any stops. Do you know the situation? Why no ships can get here? You nod. The sea route follows Hoveland officials to keep in touch with the coastal villages, collect taxes, move the soldiers, collect lumber, deliver tools. For maintaining order on such a wild coast, such as this one, is like filling the ocean depths with coins. Because of the locks, you can hardly stop a ship 5 miles from the shore, and the boats can't get much closer. She nods. I don't know much about fishing, but there's not many people living by the shore, and they don't care to stay in touch with the city folk. As she pauses, her companion carries on. Oh, yeah, okay. No soul from the north ever came to the camp, but when we travel to the roadside inn, out to the north, they're happy to trade and play dice. Why not just stay at one of the settlements? The man clears his throat. I mean, you know, we're to guard this road, this camp is our post, and well, he turns towards Toya. She lowers her voice. Don't take it the wrong way, Annie, but are you a devout soul? People should unite their strength, overcome such nature dark magic, united search, okay, monastery, spiritual growth, artistry, herbalism, and magical research equals the order of truth. Okay, here's what I'm hearing. Christianity, Buddhism, from small village, so Numa, mana, and soul are the main virtues of life, unique and independent. I have a place in my fellowship. Nature and spirits, and a pagan. Order, no. No, man nods. I heard that most Roadwardens drift away from the churches. It doesn't matter to me, to neither of us, I think, Matson wrote, as a lieutenant, peeping at her companion. I just wanted to make sure I wouldn't touch on any step on any touchy subject. You, go ahead. The people here are disquieting. Every few words he taps the table with her finger. Their traditions won't help them negotiate with the officials. Here. She starts to draw lines with her index finger, as if she's pointing at an invisible map. The peninsula is connected with roads, like a big circle. In the northwest, you'll find a weird village at a bog. It's not exactly pagan, I don't think. It even has a priest who claims to be an eremite. You nod. She means fellowship. They do crazy. I don't curse. You can read. Her companion sips in. They used the dead to cut down trees and dig in soil. I once saw it. I begged to never return there. Necromancy. I see. You've heard tales such as this one since you were a child. If an isolated settlement managed to survive without a city's influence, its customs and traditions grow more and more alien. Every generation learns how to adapt the dangerous conditions they have to deal with in the rustic, pagan traditions muddy the river of faith. The United Church often warns its members about the crazy druids, necromancers, and bloodmages, the bringers of doom, the traitors to humankind. We're able to speak with these necromancers. You can see why we're not eager to go there if we could avoid it, Lieutenant chuckles. Maybe they'll be more welcoming to Roadwarden. The roads are dangerous, with little to no shelters. People need your help. The man in the shirt turns and points a finger to the northwest. If you're heading to the undead village, you'll get to an inn first, and soon. Julia nods. Part of the north is a safe place. You can talk with the innkeeper or the guards, ask them about the road. And about the east, she stares across the camp. Hard to tell, we only went there once. There are hills, forests, rivers. We saw a tunnel, sculpted in leaves and branches, but we didn't enter it. Wilderness all around. Any monster worth mentioning? Anything that could catch my mount. We saw all sorts of beasts. The man starts to count on his fingers. Goblins, treants, cats large and small, runners, howlers, wolves, spiked boars, mouflon eaters, griffins. But we managed to stay away. Some could catch up with most mounts. Two glances at her companion. Though powerfully should be fine. The trees are so tall that the flying creatures keep to the coast and mountains. There's not that many humans around, and the animals are busy fighting amongst themselves. They fight more for food than territory. The soldier cracks his knuckles. Don't provoke them and ride fast. Just count on luck. That's all I need to know. She nods. I'm afraid we can't do more for you. I've lost my rope. Can you spare one? You're in luck. She heads towards one of the crates and moves aside a large linen sack revealing a rope. She brings it back and nonchalantly sits on her chair. Take it. I was planning to leave it behind. I take a closer look. A fine rope. I take it and offer some food in return. Lost a food ration. It's bad. I got a healing potion, 1 food ration, 5 coin pouches, thingies, canvas and rope, and then oh, that. Cool. Julia leans forward and rests her forearms on her thighs, looking down with clasped hands, then meets her eyes. I normally refuse, but we need some decent food. Every day I'm searching dirt roads, looking for worms and putridity. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. We forage, but it's not a great spot. Some food rations will brighten up a foggy day. For now, you leave the rope on the table. Any ideas what happened to the previous Roadwarden? Julia takes a deep breath. Aren't you a bit late for a rescue mission? We haven't heard from him for almost half a year. The soldiers speak for a bit between themselves, trying to get their story straight. They confirmed that he had stopped by their camp a few times, but stopped showing up at all in early summer. The bearded soldier starts to scratch the table with the tip of his knife without looking at you. I don't remember his voice. Always busy, drowning in things to take care of. He would sit somewhere, sharpen a sword, fix his loud mail, clean clothes, write notes on that wax tablet of his. Yep, and leave it on. Unlike us, Astarion never gets bored. Tulia lets out a joyless chuckle. He's secretive, but some of the locals speak about him warmly. Maybe he just doesn't like us. Sounds like you're not sure if he's dead or not. If anyone knows, they won't tell us. Maybe someone is keeping him in a basement. The man carved was passing. We haven't seen him or Sorian. Something ate him, I bet. The officials have hired you, right? They don't expect him to return. Richer Roadwardens often use four-legged, beating Saurians as their mounts. They have to be tamed and trained since they're hatching, but unlike horses, can easily defend themselves from many monsters. At least your palfrey is fast and reliable, and won't suddenly sink its teeth into an innocent passerby. Do you know what he's looking for? Maybe he left you a message? Neither one of us had any insight into his dealings, says Toya. My predecessor left me no clues. Also took a look at Astarion stuff. Wait. She raises her open palm. I almost forgot. She stands up and heads to a nearby tent. He has kids in a village near Hovlevan. I don't know. I was planning to take all his things there. About a second spear, a decent bow of some potions. Quite a treasure. She glances at you, but I would much prefer to bring them the truth about their father. So you want me to find out what happened to him in exchange for stuff? Here's the catch. She dusts off the hilt of her sword. We've hired a messenger to ask the commanders for further orders. Since she hasn't returned, and you know nothing about her, she either ran away or something happened to her. She sighs with resignation. We're meant to stay here till fall. What do you think? Come see us, tell us what you've learned about the man, and we'll get back to Hovlevan. Together, you think about your real mission. You're planning to return to Hovlevan in the early fall anyways. If he's alive, I don't think he's gonna be happy about me taking away all of his possessions. Fine old Lord, apparently. True, but he's considered dead. I doubt he'd begrudge you anything. And who knows, you might find his cell lying on the roadside tomorrow. Wears mail, uses his spear mostly. Maybe 5 feet tall, but stout. Long red beard, short hair, pale face, barely smiles. Sounds like kind of a D&D dwarf. Anyways, she glances at her companion, but after he adds nothing, she sits down and stretches her legs. To find out what happened to him, dead or alive, just let me know. What happened to your squad? The man shrugs. Bandits happened, and monsters. A strong band though. His companion chips in. When we got to the peninsula in spring, we saw some people living in his camp. The lieutenant decided to avoid it and look for an inn. We had to travel through the night for a bit. The bearded soldier scoffs and crosses her arms, but she carries on. If he had decided otherwise, we all would have died that day. Didn't keep her explain that the camp is a trap. and the armed ones pretend to be soldiers. Say that at night, lose everything you have. Sounds like slave hunters. Julia sighs. Very much so. They've killed some and took others away. Who knows where? They were letting the Northerners go, hoping to avoid our wrath. It kind of worked, adds the soldier. We asked them for help, but they refused. We had to clear the entire camp on our own, and that's why 3 of our people died. Don't exaggerate. It's not like the lieutenant didn't make a mistake. He wanted to get rid of them and take over our camp when we didn't know our enemy well enough. We were outnumbered, and they had an ice mage among them. She looks at you. At least we cleared them out. Save lives. You mentioned monsters as well? Nothing that would surprise you. Those of us who survived the skirmish were young. The experience has spent a summer in this place without a good leader, and they didn't trust me. One of them got caught by a tree ant. Another one ignored my orders to perform some sort of ritual hunt, so a werebear tore her to pieces. The last one tried to act tough, didn't tell us that he cut his hand while cleaning his gambeson. He lets out a ghastly chuckle. We had to cut it off, and he was so ashamed they decided to walk north, find life, disappear. Idiot. What a colorful journey. The man tries to drink from his mug, but it's empty. You've made this place safer. Barely. Julia seems tired, and who knows if it was worth the lives and effort. Where's your squad's missing? The lieutenant looks you in your eyes. You know, the usual. Making the road safe, keeping people alive. I explained it might be important for me to know what they have tried to accomplish. I can't really tell you. Let's just say it would be nice to have a reliable outpost somewhere nearby. A place where you could always find a group of fighters willing to protect you in the name of the law. She tilts her head back. Now, if you have any other questions, anything I should know about this camp? Story's brief. Some merchants built a camp to have an extra stop for meals and talkies, just between the inn and the southern villages. There's plenty of grass here and a pond nearby. When the peninsula grew more dangerous, the camp stood abandoned, from time to time serving as a shelter for travelers. The bandits came here in spring for their paralyzing exchange of information between the northern and southern settlements. Since these highwaymen are no more, the situation may reverse. Time will tell. You can sleep here wherever you want, whenever you want. The man concludes her tale, though don't expect to wake up without pain in your back. If you were me, where would you go next? The soldier answers quickly. To the inn, of course. He grabs his empty mug. The one northwest from here. If you can't afford a room, the main hall is free of charge. The locals here barely gather here. The Roadwarden road is much more traveled than Julia, but hunters will tell you about this, and you'll have a chance to introduce yourself. The innkeeper can listen and knows many souls. Any tips how I can make a good first impression on them? She smirks. Avoid cheap jokes, stick to trade, and don't waste his time, so that you can be relied on. It's getting late. We should prepare for the night. I agree. Julia sighs with relief. And may you do better than Astarion did. Stay vigilant. She winks at you, shattering the mask of a soldier. Thank you for your help. Noted. You go to the barrel and splash water on your face, which makes you even more aware of how much you need a bath. After the night, it will only get worse. Your horse is still already napping, still too anxious to lie down. I prepare for my watch. The soldier in the shirt is eager to guide you. Just observe the area. There's plenty of griffins around, though they won't try to jump over the palisade. Probably. better watch out for the apes. They climb up and carry out any food they can find. And there's this one really loud were elk that keeps smelling the wall, though it has never tried to get in. He points at a gate. The lieutenant and I will block the entrances. They're quite heavy, so if anyone comes here looking for shelter, better to call us to help you out. And if someone is being chased by wolves or anything, you better throw them the rope instead. He scratches his head. If it gets cold, feel free to make a fire, and the best place is on the watchtower. You may want to put a blanket there, or something. The watchtower? He gives you a long, puzzled look. Oh, here. He points at the pile of crates. Just climb up to the tallest one. You'll have a great view at the northern side, the more dangerous side. And also, I know you're tired after all that riding. He points at a tent on the other side of camp. I can handle a couple of hours sleeping on the ground if you wish. Go there after me and rest just this once. At least, I have a pallet inside. I smile. Thanks a lot. You put your blanket on the tallest crate and sit down. The night is warm, but sporadic summer breeze brings gentle refreshment. From time to time your back arches, and you have to force yourself to keep your eyes open. Then the light of the moon helps you focus on the tall grasses. For most of the time you spot smaller critters and birds, but are exceptions. At one point you see the three-horned deer trying to challenge one another. Before the cluster enters, antlers, a two-legged dragon appears, leading its smaller offspring. The furry beasts try to intimidate the prisoners with roars and aggressive head movements. After a few moments, both sides walk away slowly, not willing to risk the fight, nor to admit their defeat. I don't let it distract me. I keep looking forward. You hear the death screams of distant prey and the mating calls of monkeys. Runners are chasing a gray hare. A group of musk oxen lazily chew the grass, preparing themselves to sleep. A dusk fox is running together with the lynx, making playful screeches. Thankfully, you never have to intervene. You just sit there watching the not-so-distant forest, trying to outlast your sleepiness. You can only guess how much time has passed. Once you feel you've had enough, you climb down and go to a tent, waking up the bearded man with just a couple words. You suggest that nothing important has happened. I gather my things and squeeze into the tent. I use my bag as a pillow, put the blanket on a pallet, and cover myself with my cloak. Sleeping in a tent is not the stuff of dreams, but it's much welcomed rest. The pallet keeps the cold chill away. The moonlight saves a breath outside from the eerie gloom. You listen to your own breath and find a comfortable position. Your job starts tomorrow. I focus on the real goal of my journey. The Merchant Guild wants to take control of the realm. Your warding duties are secondary. First and foremost, you need to explore the peninsula. Learn about the territory, researches, and threats. Get to know the locals, and if you can, convince them to consider negotiations with the Hovlevan, there you go, officials and traders. Could the tribe resist the soldiers or be a threat to the priests of the United Church? Are there any forbidden practices that need to be eradicated, such as blood magic, necromancy, robbery, or slavery? At least I have time. 40 days to be exact. I need to be as thorough as I can. Once you finish your reconnaissance, you should speak with Julia and return to Hovlevan. There you'll report back to your employers and get your reward. In the meantime, you have your own goal to pursue. Gather some coins so I can help the person I care about. Gather coins so I can retire early and live in prosperity. Become a major player in the Merchant Guild. Be a hero. Sit for locals and newcomers. Find a new life. I need to gather some extra coins so I can help the person I care about. Your half asleep senses are catching the sounds of the wild forest. Your instincts keep you alert and anxious through the pleasant, humid, late summer air evens it out slowly. You're thinking about your goal, you need to gather your strength. All I can do now is rest. You spend the night in a borrowed tent. It's nothing special, but it will protect you from the wind and rain. The ground won't be painfully hard, nor cold. You're woken up by sunlight, well rested and ready. Without haste, you gather your things. Only after a couple breaths, you notice a weird smell, like a roast. No, burning meat. Burning, rotten meat. Disgust crawls in your consciousness. You exit the tent. Your horse is looking around nervously. Your bags are where you had left them. You see an open gate. I'm assuming at least one of them is dead. I go outside to see what's happening. Oh. Both soldiers are standing near a humble pyre. The man in the shirt looks at it contemplatively. Julia is the first one to address you. Annie, she greets you with a nod. We use the horse's manure for the flames, so don't worry about cleaning it up. Love ya. You see a corpse among the flames. It's impossible to tell if it belongs to a male or female, but it was an adult. The burning process won't be over for a couple more hours. A traveler or an undead? The latter, a young one. She lacked a pneuma to understand that she couldn't get inside the camp without climbing. I stabbed her with a spear from a safe distance. She sifts her weight. One more fall can she'd be a real threat. Even now it took a couple hits to knock her down. Sooner or later, every human soul wakes up, gaining more strength with each soul it devours, and each moment it spins in the fogs. Burning the dead is not just a religious practice, it's a necessity. Soldiers, priests, village mayors, even roadwardens. Making a large pyre takes a lot of time, but it saves lives. Julia calls this undead a sea. Lucy and I hesitate to do so. Time for me to leave. Running away from the leak, huh? I don't blame you. She walks with you for a few steps. Find us here if you need us, or if you learn what happened to Starion. There's enough ground here for you to rest. Safe travels. These words make you stop. An old farewell, mocked in a number of songs and tales, but you hear no scorn in Tulia's voice. You wonder how many acts of kindness like this you're going to experience in the days to follow. She returns to the pyre. I prepare myself for the journey. Cool. You somehow missed the fact that your mount is already saddled and warmed up. You double-check the equipment, but you don't need to fix anything. The soldiers were diligent. Normally, preparing any outfit for a long journey takes a lot of time. You put on your gambeson and make sure your axe is tightly attached to your belt, and then get in the saddle. The Palfrey, I'm not gonna pronounce that, so I don't get cancelled in like 5 years. Ready to leave. It's time for you to get to the crossroads north from here. Travel north. Even at an hour later, you wouldn't expect to meet any travelers in the valley. The warm summer breeze lures you mount forward, but soon you see the chirping of birds is quickly replaced by the distracting screeches and gurgles coming from further down the path. You soon find a pack of four-legged griffins. They are larger than foxes and features of birds and fur beasts. Each one is of a different size, coat, and colors, and their temperaments are just as varied. Their fronts are covered with vivid feathers, while their rears have darker fur. Their wings are massive, making them impressive jumpers, but they're too heavy to fly. About 24 beasts are yelling, brawling, and chasing each other around, blocking your path. I consider my options. You can't enter the forest blindly. If these or other creatures were to chase after you, the thicket would be disastrous for your horse. There are reasons for all travelers stay as close to the main roads as possible, and while adventurers move in groups, usually the safest approach would be to stay where you are and just wait for the pack to get hungry. It may, however, take up to a couple hours. Or thinking about your conversation with Julia, you've got a lot to do, and time may be of the essence. I can use special knowledge. I could stay here, I should take packs and hurry the horse, go fast, or I mix black powder with the glad on that goes nearby, and a dried skunk swirl from my bag. Once I ignite it and throw it at the griffin's tail, scatter. Perfect. Character. Noted, I'm literate and no alchemy. Cool. But I still have alchemical ingredients too. Cool. Most city folk feel aversion towards black powder, and you touch it with great care. The odor of the plants makes you feel dizzy, but it's more important is that the griffins have wolf-like sensitivity to smells and noises. A few of the beasts turn their head towards you as you approach. The pack with a bag in your hand. You ignite your missile and throw it forward. At first, the creatures surround the source of smoke, then growl in disgust, even putting their beaks to the ground. They flee, allowing you to continue your journey. I climb on a horse and cover my nose. I really need to find a proper alchemy set. The road splits. According to what the soldiers have told you, you may find a safe inn by turning left. The forest to the right is lush and a trail overgrown. Kids used to have this song. How did it go? The horse's pathway leads to a dragon's lair. Those you search for treasure, do you truly dare? I said it's poetry. The signpost in front of you doesn't make your situation much clearer. It's put here by someone who can't write, for folks who can't read. Covered in old red paint, it points east. Blood there, as people say. Danger to be found. That's not a soul to ask for guidance. I look my horse. What's its name? Soda? Sure, why not? Soda. Soda is peaceful as you stroke its mane. Maybe it can't help you choose a path, but you've spent many years together. Happy to go on, it takes a couple steps forward. You spot a few berry swamps and wild cabbages, but they still need at least 2 weeks to gain maturity. Time to take a turn, left. So did philosophies, unbothered by the few branches covering the beaten road. The bird songs and distant howls draw your attention to the forest, which grows sparser and brighter. You spot boars, roe deer, and saurians. The sight of a nearby wolf pack worries you once you push your hips forward and powerfully enters the canter. The beasts don't even begin in pursuit. The speed alone will protect you from many dangers. You notice a stone tower, taller than the trees. Must be the inn I've heard about. I'm gonna cut this one, because it's at like 51 minutes. So it will be a part 2. So, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I'll be back soon. See you later.